Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech. So, my day, the story goes, my day starts off as normal. I'm kind of, cranky because I worked late the night before. So, like normal, my mom wants to get out and she wants to go to a restaurant. So we go to Riverside. I grab my brother. My brother's terrible too. He's crying along the way, making a fuss, doing all that sort of stuff. And so when we get there, everything goes normal. So afterwards, after the breakfast, my mom says, "Hey, I want to get out of the house. I want to go home. I still want to stay in the area." So I said, "Hey, because we've been looking at dogs, let's go to the what's it called, the Mary S. Roberts Pet Adoption Center." So we go there, and I remember distinctively because my brother, once he saw like the dog sign, he went crazy. He's like, "Ooh, puppies!" This and that. So we walked into the place, and before the lady says anything to greet us, he just darts off running. He just goes, "Dogs, dogs, dogs," pounding on windows, pounding, looking, and just like, so we make a stroll around the dogs, crazy and everything. And then we go to the adult dog section, and he starts getting scared because they're barking, the big dogs. You have Great Danes, you have Siberian Huskies all barking, so he's scared. He's like, grabbing onto my leg, and I'm having to drag him across the place. So we get there, and I remember looking there, and my mom's, browsing around, and she's like, "Okay, so let's get to going." So I'm like, no, let's take some time, we'll look around. So we get to the puppy section. And I remember us passing past this window, and it had Labradorables. They're labs, but they said there was one left, but I didn't see anything, it was dark. So I go strolling around, my brother's darting back and forth, crazy. And then he stops, and he goes back to Labradorables, and he's like, "Puppy," and I'm like, "There's no dogs there, like, what are you doing?" So I stop, and then I see a dog, and so for that moment you're like thinking, oh, like this is going to be some awesome dog or something. But a Chihuahua walks out, and I'm like, nah, so I walk past. And then I stop for a second, and then I see this adorable black lab. He just walks up, he plants his feet, and he turns around, and with his puppy dog eyes, he like looks at me. And with like puppy dog eyes and everything, he's like almost as if he was communicating. He's like, "You're taking me home tonight." And so next thing I know, I'm in this room, I'm playing with him, he's licking my brother, he's happy with my mom, my stepdad, they're liking it. And then sooner or later, I'm out $200, and I adopted a dog. And I remember sitting there, and I was like, and the other guy's like, "So what do you want to name it?" And I'm like, "Well, that's I don't know what I'm going to name the dog." Like, his name was Thin Mint. Like, I don't know why, it's like the stupid names. I asked him, "Why'd you name him Thin Mint?" And he says, "Oh, we ran out of names, we started naming them after Girl Scout cookies." Okay. And so, we ended up naming him Bruce. And so, he's a very quiet dog, and it was really unexpected because labs, if some of you know, they're very energetic. Granted, he's only 3 months old, and, the dude's a little small. But, so we're going home and everything, and so we get home, and then the first thing he does is, we open the door, and he darts through my whole entire house, and then he gets scared immediately because my brother's like, "Puppy!" And he starts running after him, and he hides underneath the couch, all scared and everything like that, as he's got his tail between his legs and whatnot. Fast forward a couple days from now, one thing I wasn't going to be expecting, and one thing I should realized is, I was thinking, damn, a lot of food I have to buy, and a lot of shit I have to clean up. And he's pissing all over the place, and even to this day, he's still pissing all over the place, but it's, it's more contained and more controllable. But I remember my mom, she told me 2 days ago, she told me that Saturday when I got the dog, it was the day, in a sense, I became a father. Because she says, dogs are just like children. You have to clean after them, you have to take care of them, you're going to be raising them. And it made me think, because for the next part of the next decade or so, this guy's going to be with me. He's going to be my companion, I'm going to raise him. It's almost as if he'd be my son. So it made me think, more and more about the days and everything like that. And I was like, wow, this is going to be crazy. And right after that happened, what do I see? I see my dog, Bruce, which I named him, pissing on my foot. And I'm like, God damn it. This thing's going to be a lot of trouble. But, and it's like every morning now that when I leave him, I would always ask my mom, because, like, as a parent, she would always worry about me. She would say, I'm like, "Mom, leave me alone. Why are you worrying about me?" But now that I know, because Bruce is sort of like my son now, I always worry about him, especially in this heat. I wonder if he has enough water, if he has enough food. But now that I think about it, especially now, I'm like, this is going to be an awesome, amazing experience, and I can't wait, for the years to come and to fruition. Thank you for your time, and for listening to my story. Thank you.